This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Gundam Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the Mobile Suit Gundam series, such as the multiple timelines, mobile suits, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, pilots, to another episode of the Gundam Lorecast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my fellow pilot and friend, Jesse.
How's it going?
So how's it going, Jesse?
It's going. It's a Tuesday, so
It
it's
is
not,
a Tuesday.
So it's not great,
as of
but it's
recording.
not bad. So, I mean, yeah, obviously by the time everybody's hearing this, if they're not watching live, it'll be Thursday, and it'll be much better, because
Right.
that means the week's almost over.
Right. Oh, I know, right? And I will be back to work. I'm still on vacation. I got back from my vacation yesterday, but I don't go back into work till Thursday. So, hooray. I also kind of don't want to.
Fair.
But today we are continuing What is Gundam, and we are discussing specifically what is Gunpla. So, diving right into things, Gundam plastic models, or Gundam Plamo, or Gunpla, are model kits depicting the mecha, machinery, and characters of the fictional Gundam metaverse. These kits have been popular among mecha anime fans and model enthusiasts in Japan and other nearby Asian countries since the 1980s. Gundam modeling spread in the 1990s to North America and Europe, being exposed to Gundam through television, video, and manga. And oh boy, has it got popular.
It is everywhere.
It literally is everywhere now. Like, I run a GameStop. I have Gundam models in my store that I sell. Now, the two I just recently got are the Char Zaku, and just the RX-78, which are like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, but like, let's be honest. I want to see other, like, more, unique ones, not just the two most common models there are.
Yeah, because like everybody knows those two, but it's like there's so many better ones.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Diving into a little bit of the history. So Gunpla was manufactured by Bandai in Japan or China, which had an exclusive license in manufacturing and marketing the kits around the world. The first Gunpla kits were sold in 1980 in Japan. Gunpla kits consist of several trays or parts or runners that either snap fit most post-1990 models or require glue older models prior to 1990 to put together. The cover image on the box or box art is usually done by an illustrator with a picture illustration of the subject mecha design in action. All Gunpla are supplied with stickers and sometimes decals to apply extra colors and markings as seen in the show, movies, manga, or video games. Smaller or lower grade kits often require paint to give the model a finished appearance, which, is pretty common.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you don't have to paint Gunpla. It's not like Warhammer or anything where they're just, grayed. They are all colored parts, which is nice. So you don't have to color them if you don't want to. So the kits range in different scales, with the most popular scale being 1/144, approximately 13 centimeters tall, 1/100, approximately 16 to 19 centimeters tall, and 1 to 60, approximately 30 centimeters tall. Other scales include 1/200, 1/48, and the SD series. And, there's the different grades, which we'll go over in more in depth later on. Since the first Gunpla release, there have been constant improvements in quality design, material, and manufacturing techniques by Bandai. The plastic kit in the late 1980s routinely re-released by Bandai, with some exceptions, require cement and paint. These kits were completed, have very limited range of motion, which rendered them almost non-posable. These models are respectively called FG or first grade. which they don't make anymore because
Yeah.
they're not posable.
They're not worth it.
They're not. It's not worth the hassle. It's really not. Um, and then now going into building a Gunpla. So each Gunpla kit consists of a box containing several runners, a manual, and often one or more sticker/decal sheets. The runners include all the kit's parts inside of a tree-like mold. The runner and part is labeled individually. By following the manual, the builder can cut the appropriate parts from the runner using side cutters, also known as hobby nippers. The builder can assemble the kit either by attaching the pieces together using model holes and pegs, a process known as snap fitting, or gluing the pieces. If the kit includes them, the builder is instructed to apply stickers and decals throughout the assembly process. Which, yes, do that if the book tells you to.
Yes,
Don't do it later.
Do it as the book tells you to, because it might be like the eyes that get covered by other pieces, and then it's impossible to get them all.
Exactly, and good luck trying to get that taken apart.
Yeah.
It's much
To be fair,
harder to take a Gunpla apart than it is to put it together.
I'll admit I've considered getting paint in the eye color because I hate stickers.
That's fair.
I don't hate the look. They look fine.
The best way to put stickers on are either using cotton swabs or like a small pick.
Yeah, I usually use tweezers.
Yeah. I have like a special set of tweezers that came with my nipper set.
Yeah.
So and then most high grade kits will include a color correcting sticker sheet for color details that were not molded, while real grade, master grade, perfect grade, and others will include decal sheets for additional detailing. The decal sheets used by each kit varies. Some use general color correcting stickers, others use dry rub, others with water slides, and some may combine several of them. So, and then while these steps are not necessary to complete a kit, these are additional steps that are recommended and are commonly used. So we have the nub removal. So when removing pieces from the runner, it's the best practice to not cut directly next to the piece as it can damage it, but instead have a small nub remaining which then can be removed. Nub removal is usually done by the hobby knife and then stranded flat using a sandpaper or file. This process often leaves behind a small amount of damage or discoloration. Yeah.
I'll admit to being the person who
cuts right next to it. I do too.
Every time.
I do too. I do too. I mean, I've hardly ever damaged them when I actually do that, though.
Yeah.
Very, very rare chances I actually do damage it. So in some kits, these pieces may have an undergate, which is marked and requires additional cuts in order to smoothen the piece. We have panel lining. The process involves applying a very thin paint to the surface detail of parts. Your common packaged panel lining paints include the Tamiya panel lining accent color, Mr. Hobby Pour type Gundam markers, and Citadel shades. And the most common one that you might see in hobby shops are typically going to be the Gundam type markers because they're much easier to use than other stuff.
If you're watching, I've got mine right here.
Right? And it's not even open.
It's not open because I haven't used it for anything still.
Yeah, mine's still packaged too. That way I got from Gundam Base as well.
Yep.
So yeah, but they're the most easy to use and very easy to use and most common to see, and they're cheap.
Yeah. Very.
So we have mold line removal. Due to the way the injection molding works, a small line of excess plastic will often be left on the parts. This will be removed by cleanup on the model, most often by hobby knife, but specialized tools exist as well. We have the seam line removal, an advanced technique. This process involves joining two parts together to make them pair as one. The most common method is to do so involves joining the pieces using a plastic glue, such as Tamiya plastic cement, filling in the remaining gaps using a hobby putty, and painting the putty to match. If you want to go extra.
That's very extra,
It's
definitely.
very extra. We have priming. Some builders may choose to prime their model kits in preparation for paint. A primer will help the paint stick to the surface of the plastic and provide an even base color for the paint that is applied on top. Primers can be applied by hand, but not most commonly applied through an airbrush or spray can. And then,
Makes sense if you're gonna prime it.
yeah, oh, absolutely. And we also have painting. So there is a variety of levels of painting. Most builders do not uh, will not do any painting or may not only paint color details that are missing from the model, while others will fully repaint kit using advanced techniques such as shading and weathering. Painting can be done by using by hand using traditional paintbrushes with spray cans or even through the use of airbrush. Mr. Hobby produces paint colors that are designed specifically for the usage of with Gunpla. Yeah, Mr. Hobby's great for any Gunpla stuff. By the way, for everybody to like listening, if you're wanting to get into Gunpla and you want to do extra stuff with your Gunpla, Mr. Hobby. Mr. Hobby has so much stuff for Gunpla. And then we have top coating. The final step of the kit would be to apply a top coat. This will help seal in and protect any paint that has been applied to the model, as well as giving it a consistent sheen. This is usually applied via a spray can or an airbrush and comes in a variety levels of glossiness. So, yeah. Pretty advanced techniques that can be applied. You can easily look this stuff up on Google itself. If you just type into Google like Gunpla modeling techniques, you'll find something. There's even a Gunpla magazine that you can buy and download that will give you tips and tricks on how to help your Gundam modeling skills. So, pretty cool stuff.
Big time.
And the amount of like custom stuff I've seen online through like I have like some stuff that comes up on my For You page on TikTok of people like doing custom Gunpla builds and stuff like that is really, really cool.
Yeah, big time.
I just don't have the time for any of that.
Yeah.
I barely have time to build a Gundam, like a Gunpla in general.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I still haven't finished the ones from Gundam Base.
I've only done 2 out of the 5 I bought.
The only, yeah, me too, actually. No, I did 3 and a half. I have half of Unicorn Gundam sitting on my desk.
I have half. Yeah. It's a very delicate and very dedicated time for us to do that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but before we dive in more of Gunpla, we are going to take a quick mid break and we'll be right back.
It's a Gundam!
All right. Welcome to the mid break of the show where we're talking about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Gundam. Here we want to thank all of our listeners. Thank you everybody so much for listening to the show. And if you too want to help the show, you can go to Apple or Spotify, leave a 5-star review with some kind of words or a comment on Spotify, and we'll read it out the next time on the show itself. Unfortunately, we don't have any this week. That's okay. We didn't have a week episode last week due to me being on vacation and all that fun stuff. So if you haven't done it yet, there's still time to do it. And by every review and comment and rating really helps the show grow and to get us to a bigger audience for everybody to listen to. So we really appreciate it. And then you can also find us in a few different Discords, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, which those links are provided in the show description below. And you can find this show as well as the other shows that I host, which are Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. It's a lot of great fun. Go check out Robots Radio. There's a plethora of shows. If you can think it, we probably have it.
And
no
if
joke.
we don't have it, then maybe you can start it.
Exactly. So there's so much you can do, or listen to. There's so much you can listen to. But with that being said, I have nothing else to add for the mid-break. Do you have anything to add, Jesse?
Nothing big for the mid break.
Oh, Silver Phantom is out now.
Yes,
Go
that
play
was the
that.
only thing I could think of. Is
Yeah,
Silver
Silver Phantom's
Phantom.
out now. And
If
I believe Requiem for Vengeance is coming out here pretty soon, isn't it?
I believe that is later this month, maybe next week.
I'm looking that up as we speak. Requiem for Vengeance Gundam comes out.
October 17th. So yeah,
Okay, so here
we
in the
are
next.
next. So when you are listening to next week's episode,
Oh,
it
yeah,
should
it'll
be
drop.
out.
Yeah, it will drop on Netflix next Thursday on the 17th. So, super excited for that because it's all done in Unreal Engine 5, and we see it from the Xeon's point of view,
And you can
which
see,
is we've only done a few times. We haven't done a whole lot many on the Xeon side.
right.
But it's going to be very interesting because we will now we'll definitely see why they call the Gundam the White Devil.
Because
they made
see
it
why
look-
they're so terrified.
Because they make the Gundam look terrified and demonic.
Oh yeah, that trailer makes it look insane, and I'm excited.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. So much fun to watch. But with that being said, let's get back into more Gunpla. All right. We're back. And now we are discussing the multiple different types of grades that there are for Gunpla. So, we first have the high grade. The high grade line of model kits was originally released in 1990, consolidating the improvements made in previous non-grade Gunpla, such as snap fit assembly, increased color separation, and polycap based joints into one line. The majority of model kits in this line are 1/144th scale. However, some are 1/100th or 1/550 scale. The high grade moniker had many iterations and sublines since its introduction, including model kits for non-Gundam media. The most numerous and oldest active line of high-grade kits is high-grade Universal Century, or HGUC, which also contains the sublines for many of the alternate universe timelines of Gundam. High-grade kits are recommended for inexperienced builders due to their simplicity and affordable prices. Despite this, the line is also popular with enthusiasts as it offers the widest variety of mobile suit design and the ability to easily create custom mobile suits by kit bashing, as parts are often designed to be compatible between kits. And this is the most when you see Gunpla, you're going to generally find high grades more than anything else.
Oh,
This is the most used in the grades because of the effectiveness of kit bashing, specifically even more so nowadays thanks to the Gundam Build series that they have done, Gundam Breaker, and all of that. It really inspired Bandai to really take the moniker of kit bashing to its fullest.
mm-hmm.
So, majority of I think all my suits, all my Gunpla are high grades. I think I might have one master grade.
Maybe. I have one master grade that's built and one that's in a box. And also the Gundam base exclusive one.
Mm-hmm. That's a master grade.
It's an entry grade, I think.
Oh, that's an entry grade, yeah. Which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
The next grade is real grade. So Bandai introduced the 1/144th scale real grade line in 2010 as part of the Gundam 30th anniversary. As the name suggests, this line focuses on archiving a realistic look inspired by the life-size RX-78-2 Gundam statue erected in Shizuoka. Is that how you say that?
I want to say Shizuoka.
Shizuoka in 2009, as well as the mechanical design of help me out here.
Hajime Katoki.
Thank you. Rogue Grades kits utilize Bandai's most advanced modeling technology, allowing single parts to be pre-molded in multiple colors and introducing elements not traditionally found in 1/144th scale kits, such as the inner frames, hatch opening gimmicks, and making decal sheets. These kits are recommended for intermediate builders due to the increased complexity but at affordable prices. Which Rogue Grades are really cool because they have a skeleton system they use that you built on top of it, which I have the 30th anniversary RX-78, and yes, it's really cool. It's much more detailed than the standard 1/44th scale high grade version.
Right.
So, and you'll see a lot of real grades nowadays too, because of the popularity of the skeleton system and everything. But it's also like it's not meant for kit bashing. Like what you get for the kit that's what you're gonna build.
Yeah.
And like all grades after anything after a high grade is literally not meant for kit bashing. It's like you build it what you have in the box. So you can do custom builds for it, but you have to, do your own thing with it.
Right.
Now we have Master Grade, which is introduced in 1995. Master Grade kits are 1/100th scale models intended as a step up from high grade. Master Grade kits are known for featuring improved surface detail and details such as opening cockpits and full inner frames. In recent years, the production of new Master Grade kits have slowed dramatically, with the majority of these coming out belonging to the sublines such as Master Grade Extreme or MGEX or version Kai, which features the design work of how'd
you make it?
Thank you. These kits are recommended for experienced builders due to the increased level of complexity, longer build times, and higher prices. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. So the Barbatos from Gundam Base is a Master Grade, and it was a beast time-wise to get it all together.
I believe it. And it's also Barbatos too. He's not an easy build.
So it's like not a normal
his torso alone is super weird.
His torso, his legs were the biggest problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because they got like the hoses on the back and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Those were a pain.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. We all now have a perfect grade. Perfect grades are the highest complexity of grades, introduced in 1997 with non-Gundam release. This line received its first Gundam kit in 1998. These 1/60 scaled models are made of high-quality plastic and often include metal components. Perfect grade kits feature a full inner frame as well as numerous gimmicks such as LEDs, openable cockpits, vents, hatches, and transformations. In 2020, Bandai released a new version of the RX-78-2 Gundam under the Perfect Grade Unleashed moniker. These kits are recommended for expert builders due to their high complexity and price. And yes, this is where we get the Gundam Unleashed. If you play Gundam Breaker 4, you will meet Gundam Unleashed as an enemy. And yes, it is these builds are insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will ever attempt a perfect grade in my life.
I want one, but at the same time, I don't know if I have the mental
energy
capacity
or time
and energy to devote to that.
Right? Yeah, I don't know if I would ever do that. And then next we have the entry grade, which is a line of 1/144th scale models, originally introduced in 2011 and made in China. The line was marketed to emerging markets in Asia. The first wave of entry grade kits contain no polycaps and are molded in only 3 colors. They can be assembled without hobby nippers. In 2020, Bandai rebooted the entry grade line. The new entry grade line features color separation, articulation, the proportionate equivalent to modern high-grade kits, while retaining the ability to remove parts from the runner by hand. Costs were kept low by featuring even more hollow parts and less accessories than high-grade counterparts. Entry-grade kits are designed and recommended for beginner builders. And I will say, yes, we both have the entry grade of the Gundam base version of the RX-78. And I will say on a, actual level where I built one, it's super easy. I built it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it did not take
It
long.
was super easy
It
to
took
build.
more time to get the pieces out of the things than
to actually build it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, it was fun. It's something, if you've never built a Gunpla before, entry grade is always really good to start with. High grade's good to start with too if you never built one. I mean, I started with high grades when I built Gundam because there weren't many entry grades when I started building Gunpla. So, yeah, I mean, start either with those two, or we'll eventually get to another one that you will probably even get easier to get into. So now we go into the first grade, or FG. Now a defunct line, so they don't make this anymore. First grade was created as part of the Gundam 20th Anniversary Big Bang Project in 1999, intended as a remake of the original 1981 44th scale kits. They're molded in one color and contained no polycaps, but featured a snap-fit assembly and the assembled without hobby nippers. These 3 kits in this line use designs based on their perfect grade counterparts. The first grade moniker was shortly revived in 2007 for a series of 4 kits based on the lead Gundams from the first season of Mobile Suit Gundam 00. These kits are similar in concept but come in multiple colors of plastic. So, yeah, this line completely dead. They don't use it anymore, which makes sense. And we don't need another line of Gundam models.
No, we have
don't.
enough.
Yes, we have enough already. We have Advanced Grade, AG. A short-lived Advanced Grade line was released in 2011 through 2012, featuring mobile suits from the Mobile Suit Gundam Age series. These kits have snap-fit assembly, multicolors of plastic, and can be assembled without hobby nippers, but with very limited articulation. These kits were most notable for coming with a microchip for use of gauging battle base arcade game. So this kit, I believe, was a Japan only because of the arcade game. Japan is a very, very big in arcade games. Huge in arcade games. And them using microchips for this stuff and using it for arcade games was very moniker for them. And yeah, advanced grade would have been a Japan only.
Yeah, there are, just from my time in Japan, I probably saw in a week over 100 different arcades.
Jeez, okay. Yeah, and Dojo in chat says there are five to 4 shows. There's multiple shows revolving around Gunpla. You have Gundam Build Fighters, Fighters Try, Build Divers Re-Rise, Gundam Build Metaverse, Gundam Breaker, which had a 3-episode anime version. So there's 6 right there. Battle Log, which was more on the Gundam Build or Gundam. Battle Log was the Gundam Build stuff or Gundam Breaker, one of the two. So yeah, they even did a live action version. That was only in Japan.
It's fantastic.
Dead serious. I've seen little clips and pieces. It was pretty cool. They had a RX-78 versus Barbatos, which was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
And then we have non-grade, so NG. So the term non-grade is a catch-all term for Gunpla lines that don't fit into others categories. The majority of non-grade kits were from the 1980s and 1990s, before the grade system was introduced. Non-grade kits include many non-grade or non-mobile suit designs and come in a variety of scales from 1/2200 for large spaceships to 1/20th for character models. Many of these kits require glue to build and only come in 1 to 3 colors for plastic. And that's it. Yeah, which they don't do those anymore either. So, which is nice.
Right.
We do actually have other lines of grades, which is interesting. So we have the Reborn 100, so the RE/100. The Reborn 100 line was introduced in 2014. This 1/100 scale line features only mobile suits from the Universal Century timeline. It was created so that Bandai could produce 1/100 scale models for mobile suits that were too large or obscure to justify the production costs associated with master grade kits. The RE100 kits featured the build complexity of a contemporary high grade, but the scale and surface detail that allow them not to look out of place next to a master grade kit. So, that's cool. It sucks it's only, Universal Century, but...
Right.
We have the Full Mechanics, or FM, partially introduced in 2016 as a rebranding of the 1/100 Iron-Blooded Orphans line to coincide with the second season Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. The current iteration of Full Mechanics started production in 2021. Full Mechanics embodies the same concept as Reborn 100 line, but features mobile suits from the Gundam's many alternate universes. Yeah. Which, I don't know if have I seen these before?
I don't know that I have.
They have Calamity Gundam, Raider Gundam, Gundam Ariel has one.
That's new then.
These might not be in the US, and they have Forbidden Gundam. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's only 4?
I think some of the hobby shops over there did have them.
Okay. And then they also have some exclusives, which are the Freedom Gundam, Calamity, which has different coatings. And yeah, I believe that is Full Mechanics. I believe is a Japan only one, because I have not seen that here in the States. So we have Super Deformed, which is also good for beginners. Also offered is an expanding line of small plastic kits labeled SD Gundam, Super Deformed Gundam, which was not presented in a particular scale. SD Gundams are comedic renditions of various Gundam mecha designs featuring a disproportionately large head. These kits are often easier to construct but offer very limited possibility and require paint and detailing and truly finish the kit. The most famous line is the BB Sensei, also known as SD Gundam BB Warriors, and Bandai's English page. Depending on popularity of series, SD units may also be sold in a separate project line. An example would be the Super Defender Gundam Force. So, which is an anime, the TV show that they did in the early 2000s.
It was
and
it was
it was
hilarious.
So weird. Yuri Lowenthal, of all people, was in the show too.
Hilarious.
Like, it's interesting for sure. But yeah, SD Gundams are also very good for beginners. If you haven't built a Gunpla before, SD Gundams are always a good one to start with as well, besides an entry model or entry grade.
They're also great if you don't have a lot of shelf space or you want to put it on your desk.
That is true too. That is very true. They are very small and proportionate to where they're literally designed to look cute. That's literally what they're there for.
They were, how can we capitalize on the chibi craze with Gundam?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, that's exactly what they were used for. We have Real Detail, so produced for Mobile Suit Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny. These 1/60th scale kits are simplistic in design. The levels of detail and articulation are comparable to high-grade kits, but thanks to the large scale or large size, some models are able to feature gimmicks such as LEDs and opening cockpits, which is really cool. I've been thinking of they just released a new rail grade Burning Gundam from G Gundam, and you can also buy a separate LED kit to add LEDs to it. And it looks so cool.
That's awesome.
I've been tempted. We have the EX model. So the EX model line is split between non-mobile suit vehicles in 1/144th scale and a number of space vessels in a 1/1700 scale. EX models are similar in order to non-grade kits, requiring glue and paint to properly assemble, and are recommended for experienced builders. This line also features models from non-Gundam media. So, yeah. We have UC Hard Graph, which is never seen this before. Launching in 2006, this is 1/35th scale line features non-mobile suit vehicles and accompanying soldiers from the 1-year war of Gundam's Universal Century timeline. That's it.
Those sound huge.
Yeah, 1/35th scale. It's bigger than a freaking perfect grade.
So it says non-mobile suit. The accompanying
These, I
soldiers
think,
would be like a normal.
I think these would
model
be
size.
like the tanks and stuff like that, typically that you find in standard hobby building stuff. So, I don't know. We have the Speed Grade collection, launched in 2007, and this line consists of pre-painted models in 1/200th scale, which I haven't seen Speed Grade anymore. I don't think they make these anymore. But what's really cool is if you go and watch Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise, the main character that you follow uses a Speed Grade RX-78 as a custom build, which is really cool. I mean, like, you can see like the size; it's tiny compared to other kits. We have the mega size model, so one of the largest Gunpla lines regularly available. This 1/48th scale series was introduced in 2010 as part of the Gundam's 30th anniversary. As many larger kits, they feature engineering similar to high grade kits. So, yeah.
I want one.
I want one. And then we have the Gundam Factory Yokohama model series, which I don't know how this is a series, because this is in 2020. Bandai Spirits announced a series of model kits based on the design of the 1/1 scale walking RX-78-2 Gundam located in the port of Yokohama, Japan. These models are not assigned any grade and are varying scales and have a detail level similar to high grade kits. Which that moving Gundam and no longer is there anymore. They actually tore it down this year.
It's very sad.
It is sad. But we do still have the Unicorn Gundam in front of the Gundam base in Japan, as well as the Freedom Gundam in Shanghai.
Yep.
So, which is really cool. We have Hyper Hybrid models, or HY2M, released at the beginning of 2001, and this line consists of higher-end Gunpla kits of larger scales. This includes the 1/24th and 1/12th scale kits intended for in-store displays, 1/60th scale kits with LED light gimmicks, as well as upgrade kits for the Master Grade line. 1/24th scale and 1/12th scale. For in-store display.
So big.
You know for a fact that was Japan only. Because we had nothing like that growing up.
No, nothing at all. I think the one the statue that they had at Gundam base might have been the 1/12th, unless it was a 1/6 even.
Yeah, I believe that.
And that's about it.
Yeah. We have Gundam Artifact starting in 2021. Gundam Artifact kits are small non-scale kits that stand at 5.5 centimeters tall. These kits are highly detailed in terms of surface detail, but are molded in one color, a tan color meant to resemble a resin garbage kit. They also include a packet of soda-flavored gum, which is obviously this is Japan only as well. Because we did not have this. We don't have this cool. We don't get cool stuff here in the U.S. What are you talking about? None at all. And then we do have special editions and exclusives. So over the years, Bandai released special edition or special limited edition variants of various kits. These are handed out or sold as promotional items for events such as conventions, trade shows, and competitions. Bandai also released a number of exclusives that are usually part of a collaboration or found in limited stock. In 2009, Bandai also launched a web store service called Premium Bandai, or P Bandai, which, yes, you can go to that to this day because you can get exclusive kits there. That also sells exclusive kits. Some of these exclusive kits can simply be recolored variant of another model, while others may be produced in a special format. Such formats include clear color, where the parts are less colored and extent the inner framework can be seen, which personally I'm not a fan of. Mechanical clear, The parts are not colored at all, exposing most of the inner framework. And special coating, the color parts that have more glossier look. That one I do like, because that I do have a Gundam base exclusive special coating of the Destiny Gundam.
Yeah, my special coating one is unicorn.
Yeah.
I will say the clear color ones, on one hand I don't like them, but on the other hand it brings the nostalgia of those like old controllers, like the old PS2
Yeah, I
controllers.
get it,
And
but
so
like,
like at the same time I'm like, I never had one of those, but I always thought they were cool back in the day.
right. Yeah, I mean,
Also, Premium Bandai, magical place.
it's great.
If
It's
you
all
want to drop
pre-orders.
$200 right
It's
now,
all.
they have a perfect grade blue Gundam Astray.
Ooh. I don't have $200 after vacation though.
I get that.
Found out Universal food prices are more expensive than Disney. Yeah, fun stuff. So exclusive kits also include mobile suits and variants that appear in official Gundam media. The Bandai believes that would not be profitable to give a full release, since the launch of P Bandai, an increasing number of in-universe mobile suits have been released this way through the service, rather than receiving a traditional release. Due to the cost associated with limited production runs, special editions and exclusives are more expensive than their release counterparts. Which, yes, makes sense. But
Yes.
if you will find more specific suits going through Premium Bandai, if it doesn't have a full release. Granted, which is kind of like nowadays is not as it's very uncommon to find a Gundam that they haven't done a model kit for in high grade.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare for you to see that anymore. Premium Bandai nowadays is mainly like, here's different recolorations of different suits, or here's like special editions of different like colors or coatings and stuff like that typically nowadays, rather than like niche mobile suits.
Right.
So, and then last but not least, we have the non-plastic Gundam model kits. So Bandai has also released a number of Gundam Garage kits under the subsidiary B Club. These models are composed of unpainted resin, include no additional materials like decals, and often require modifications by the modeler due to the issues common with resin painting. These kits are produced in small numbers and are significantly more expensive than their plastic counterparts, but often offer a level of detail than the greater than what is possible with plastic injection modeling. Resin kits are recommended only for the most advanced builders due to their high price, high complexity, and the health hazards associated with resin. Because resin's not good for your health at all. Oh, and Kodojo did say there's no windmill Gundam. That fair point. I give you that, Dojo. I give you that. There's no windmill Gundam from G Gundam.
We'll get to that in a second. We're gonna get to that.
We're going to get to that. Okay.
I have something related to that in a second.
All right, and then model kits made of sheets of die-cast sheet have also been produced under the license from Bandai by U.S. company Fascinations. These are marketed under the Metal Earth brand. Metal Earth Gundam kits are recommended for ages 14 plus because they are made of metal.
Yeah. Those are expensive, by the way.
They are
expensive. I really
expensive.
wanted that Barbatos that they had at Gundam Base that was metal, and it was like $200.
Yeah. Heck no. I'm good. But yeah, that is what we have on Gunpla. So what do you have for Windmill Gundam?
Okay, so it's not necessarily Windmill Gundam, to be honest. It's just when it comes to Gunpla, what's one that either you don't have or hasn't been made yet that you want?
Gundam Artreus from Mobile Suit Gundam Breaker.
Okay, that's fair.
From Gundam Breaker Mobile, sorry. Gundam Artreus. Which it's a kit bash, but even then, I would like to have that kit because I made a version of it of my own style in Gundam Breaker 4. Thanks to the amazing builder parts they added in Gundam Breaker 4, to where, hey, you can now have satellite cannons on your backpack with builder parts. That's amazing. Bandai, please, if you somehow listen to the show in the early stages of its life, make Gundam Breaker mobile kits, because I would love to see those. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would.
100%. Yes. Now, the reason this is related to Windmill Gundam is because of what mine is. And there's a lot of buzz and demand for this one on Reddit. Is I need Tequila Gundam.
Tequila. Oh, yeah. And we see it in the Gundam build
They do
divers.
A version of it in build, yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you guys haven't built divers, but you still don't have a model kit for it.
Which, to be fair, they do more cowboy it up in build, but
it don't matter.
It's close enough. At least give me that version. I really would prefer to have the OG with the cactus and everything, but I'll take either one.
Yeah. Ooh, oh god, that Gundam Astray is $200.
There's a pre-order up for a real grade Crossbone X2 right now.
Ooh.
And I really want it.
Ooh.
But at the same time, money.
Yeah. Oh no. I get it. I'm looking up Bandai right now. And what is this? Gundam Giminas? Never seen this one before. Huh. Anyway, but yeah, that's what we have on Gunpla. So everybody, thank you again for listening to the Gundam Lorecast. And pilots, stay safe out there. Thank you for listening to the Gundam Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share how you got into the Gundam series, and you can even find us on Twitter at Gundam Lorecast, and even email us at gundamlorecast@outlook.com.